Welcome to Children's Church at Nahunta Friends. Our God is an awesome God. He's full of power, wisdom, and love. Let's talk about awesome. Tell me some things you think are awesome. God is awesome because He is full of wisdom, power, and love. Some of the ways God is awesome are that He created life. He is our Savior. He loves me, you. He created the stars, the oceans, the fish, the mountains, our families, pets, spring, summer, fall, winter, all of these things. What an awesome God we have. If I asked you to cut a hole in a piece of paper and make the hole big enough to pass your body through it, and it was just a normal size piece of paper, would you be able to pass through it without tearing the paper? Could you do it? If I could do it, would you say that I was awesome? What's really awesome is that God figured out how to do stuff like make the mountains and the oceans, animals, plants, and people. The whole earth shows us that God is awesome. God's power is awesome also. Evidence of God's power is everywhere on earth. What things can you think of that show God's power? Well, there's ocean waves, thunder and lightning, tornadoes, Niagara Falls, the Grand Canyon. These are just a few examples of God's power. Sometimes, even though we see God's power on the earth every day, we forget that He created that power. Another thing that is awesome about God is His majesty. When we say God has majesty, we mean that He is great or grand or glorious. What are some things that show us God's majesty? Well, we see His majesty all around us. We see it in the mountains, the oceans, the sunsets, the forests. When God talked to Moses from the burning bush, Moses could hardly believe it. He knew without a doubt that God was real and that He was awesome. From then on, he wanted to follow God's plan and do everything God told him to do. We can be like Moses. When we see God's awesomeness, we can follow and obey Him. When we follow God, we do it by walking in faith. That means we believe God to be and do everything He says. We're saying we trust Him. Jesus also said we're supposed to be the light of the world. Have you ever used candles or flashlights at night or when the electricity has gone off? We need light to see when it's dark. Jesus said the world needs us to be His lights. After Moses met God at the burning bush, He went out and told others all about God. We can be lights in the world by telling others about God. Tell me the most awesome thing you've ever seen a person do. Now tell me the most awesome thing God has done. What makes God more awesome than the people you've seen doing awesome things? I want you to listen while I read a verse to you and think about how it relates to our conversation. And what I'm going to read is Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. It says, I am able to do all things through him who strengthens me. How does this verse relate to what we're talking about? Well, it lets us know that God is stronger than anything we face, and God can take care of anything. How does this verse relate to God being awesome? God is so awesome that he helps us do anything. No matter what we face, our awesome God can help us. God is awesome. He helps people do awesome things. He gives us the strength to face anything. But God is better than all these. He is the most awesome one of all. Our Bible story from Exodus chapter 2, verse 11 through chapter 3, verse 20 shows us one way God demonstrated how awesome he is. One day Moses saw an Egyptian soldier beating up one of God's people. He became angry and killed the man. Moses ran away because Pharaoh found out about it and wanted to kill him in return. Moses went to a faraway place and stayed there a long time. Meanwhile, God's people were still in slavery back in Egypt, crying out to God to save them. One day Moses was tending his sheep, and an amazingly awesome thing happened. So now I'm going to read Exodus chapter 3, verses 2 through 4. Then the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire within a bush. As Moses looked, he saw that the bush was on fire, but was not consumed. So Moses thought, I must go over and look at this remarkable sight. Why isn't the bush burning up? When the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, God called out to him from the bush, Moses, Moses. Here I am, he answered. God wanted to speak to Moses, but God needed to get his attention. So God bathed a bush in his awesome power. God allowed Moses to see this awesome power in the burning bush. The bush was on fire, but it didn't burn up. God got Moses' attention. God spoke to Moses from the bush and told him to go back and tell Pharaoh to let his people go. And Moses obeyed. God got Moses' attention with his awesome power in the burning bush. Then his awesome love won Moses' heart, and his awesome wisdom made Moses want to obey him. Moses responded by doing everything God told him. Let's be like Moses and obey God because he is awesome. God was awesome in the day of Moses. He was awesome throughout the scriptures. God is still awesome today, and he will be awesome forever. The awesome truth is that he cares about you and me. So let God be awesome in your life. When we're excited, it's natural to want to shout. If your parents give you the most awesome gift in the world, you might shout, "Thank you. That is awesome." After thanking them, you'd want to go tell all of your friends about it. There are many things we feel awe about on earth, but God's awesomeness is beyond anything in this world. A slam dunk by an NBA star is awesome, but God is better. The Grand Canyon is something to see, but God is better. The power of water in a place like Niagara Falls or the ocean is incredible, but God is better. God has given us himself, the most awesome gift of all. Thank you for joining us for Children's Church at Nahunta, friends, and I hope you have a great week.